Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Sadashiva Samarambham, Shankaracharya Madhyamam, Asmadacharya Paryandam, Vande Guru Paramparam. Om Sakhana Vavadu, Sakhana Bhnattu, Sakabhiryam Karvavahe, Tejasvina Vadidamastu, Mavit Vishavahe. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Namo Bhagavate, Vaivasvitraya Mitve, Brahma Vidyacharya, Nachiketa Secha. So we'll have it more of an interaction today. Namaskaram. We finished Kathopanishad, Prathama Adhyaya of 3 sections, 3 valleys. So normally, Vedanta Vicharam, Upanishad learning is all for the Anubhuti that the Guru grants to them. So what the Anubhuti is, nobody can explain. So we are not there. So ours is an intellectual pursuit. We want to understand Upanishad, we understand the content of it. So to get the understanding, you must really have a pariksha, is it not? Because what you have understood, very important to know what else we can learn, exchange. So once in a while, we need to really revalidate our understanding. So ideally, I think we should have a class together physically, but setup is not like that. So I will not ask you questions. You don't need to answer it. But I raise the question. If you know the answer, just validate and I give a brief answer to that as well. Because only by knowing, you see, Vedanta Vicharam is very interesting, pleasing to hear. And then once the session is finished, then you go into the world. If you forget that one, if you don't really keep that in your mind, there is no benefit. So you really have to keep laboring the thinking. It's called a mananam. So Shravanam is listening, grabbing it, making sure that what is imparted is what you're hearing. There's a hearing difficulty or there is a pronunciation difficulty, misunderstanding. We ask questions. That's all Shravanam. Then you take mananam. Then you really think, is it right? Does it the way it is? I mean, this teacher says this way, this teacher says this way. It doesn't experience well with me. So what is the answer? The questions is mananam. Then you come back to Shravanam, ask the questions, clarify it. So this keeps on going to the point that you know it for sure. That is the truth. That's a fact. Now, what is the point of knowing how to cook? You have to cook and eat. So knowing that is one thing, and then inducting that into the Vijnanam is Nididhyasana. So that's a different step. So we are in the first 1 and 2 here. So Kathopanishad, Upanishad. Do you know what is Upanishad is? We touched upon this when we started the Isavasya Upanishad. We took Bhagavan Shankara's explanation etymologically. Upanishad. Upa, that is very close to, that's supreme. Jnanam, ni for nischayam. Shat means that which reduces, cut asunder, the ignorance. So you can go back and recollect that, think through it, because if you can understand what Upanishad actually means, then you have a reverence towards that. So Upanishad is, simply put, Atma-jnanam. It is also a text. It's also a book. But that is just an instrument. Now, where does the Upanishad exist? It exists in the Vedas. What are the Vedas? Vedas are Apurusheya script. It's all the text that contains profound truth about life. And there are many, infinite number of Vedas. Vedavyas has given us in 2 or 3 or 4 forms. We say Chaturvedam, sometimes we say Trivedams. You can say there are only 2 Vedas, the Rik and Yajus. Rik is that which is in a poetic meter, it's a poetry. Yajus is a prose. The expansion of some of those elements in Rik and Yajus comes into Atharva Veda. The poetry of Rik Veda, when it is set to tune as a composition of song, it is Samaveda. So Trivedas is fine, Chaturvedi is fine. So in this Vedas, you can also look at it differently because it contains 4 important sections. The mantra part, then the Brahmana part, then Aranyaka and Upanishad. Mantra contains the mantras, glory of all the nature, all the God, all the Brahman. Brahmana for all the rituals. Aranyaka for all the upasanas. And within that is Upanishad as a part of it. So you can think of it as a 4 sequential part. Not necessarily. Sometime in the mantra itself, the Upanishad text will be there. Isavas Upanishad is a mantra Upanishad. It is not physically at the end of it, but it is the salient part of the mantra part of this Vedas in Shukla Yajurveda. All this we don't need to know, but I think we should have a little understanding of it. So Upanishad is, okay, what is Upanishad? Why it has got a special place? Upanishad is revealing that ought to be known. That is you, that is I, who I am. What is all this? Who is Ishvara? Who is Brahma? Atmajnana. Bhagavan Shankara summarizes in a phrase, a sentence. He says, Brahma Satyam Jagat Nitya Jivo Brahmaiva Na Paraha. Brahma Satyam, there's a Brahman which is eternal truth. Jagat Mithya, everything else, the world is Mithya, temporal. Now, when you're listening to this, you are left out, aren't you? Brahman Satyam, somewhere the Brahman is there, that is eternal. Jagat Mithya, everything else in this world is temporal. But what am I? Jiva, Jivo Brahmaiva Na Paraha. The Jiva, that you are identifying yourself as I, were nothing but the Brahman, Na Paraha. This is Veda, this is Bhagavan's Mahavakyam, but this is the essence of Upanishad. Upanishad is resolving the hardest problem of mankind. What is all about this? Who am I? Are in picture. Now the question that you have is, why I have to know this? What's the point of that? Because I got things to do, business to take care of, family to run. Why am I doing this? That is correct. It says, at some point in life, you would come to the point that you ought to know this. Why is that? What is life? Life is anubhavadhara, chain of experiences. Is it not? If you don't experience something, no, you are dead. Right? So anubhavam means you must have a vishayam experience, an object experience. Right? But to experience an object, you must know the object, hear, smell, touch, feel, eat, digest, mix, embrace. It means you need an upati. So as a vishayam, you need. Life is experiences. Experience need vishayam, objects. You need upati, an instrument of enjoyment. You need. Have I got them? Yes. My body, my mind, my intellect, my everything is my instrument. The whole world is a vishayam. Now this experience, you see the world, I see the world. Today for me in future, sunshine, beautiful. I don't know how in London today. So the same world has got different experience to you and different experience to me. It means your context of experience is your loka. My context is my loka. So my life is therefore can be summarized into these 5 words. My life is an experience chain, anubhavadhara. I have vishaya, this world. I have upati, my instruments, my loka, my context, and myself. You see? So in our life, we deal with these objects. We deal in the world that we context ourselves, but we ignore the real self who is experiencing it. Is somebody asking a question? Okay. This is where Upanishad comes. Upanishad comes in because whatever you're enjoying life, the moment you realize it is temporal, you need to turn around to find out who you really are. Okay, how do I do this? For that, in Vedanta, in the Jnana Marga, there are few kriyas. It's called a prakriyas. Like, if you want to go to be fit, you do it, go to the gym, you do a treadmill. That's a kriya. For the Vedanta Jnanam, Atma Jnanam to come, here the prakriya is all about negating fallacy from the truth. So it's an intellectual pursuit you do. Like what? Like drik drishti viveka. Seen and seer. If I see something that is seen, therefore that's a vishayam. Remember, vishayam, what is vishayam means? That gives you experience. If I'm able to see something, hear something, smell something, that is a vishayam, an object, that is not me. Therefore, I am away from this object. Now, how does it help me? Helps me because if my body is deteriorating, I have a pain, I'm aging, my hairs are getting dry, gray, falling. So be it. That's not me. That is my object. Then you can do Shariratrayam. So you have Sariram, you got a Annamaya Kosham, Pranamaya Kosham, Stula Sariram, Sukshma Sariram, Karana Sariram. So that knowledge you can develop think through it and detach yourself, the true self, away from the upadhi. Vishaya, we are very clear. The objects of experience is not as. The problem comes in upadhi. Upadhi is the instrument of experience. Then there's a pancha kosha lakshana. That's what Kathopanishad teaching us. Bhagatyaga lakshana. There are a lot of such prakriyas Vedanta gives you. Okay. Now come to Kathopanishad. So the Upanishad, all the Upanishads are exactly the same thing. They are giving the same thing in so many different contexts. You see, the truth is only simple one. That you have to have so many ways of learning the truth. The Kathopanishad, it is through a sambhashana between who? The Lord of Death and Nachiketas. Kathopanishad is in the Kataka Shaka of Yajurveda. In the Krishna Yajurveda. That Taitya Upanishad is there, Shvedasha Upanishad is there. The Ishavashyam we saw about in a Shukla Yajurveda. Okay. So we saw the first chapter, first Adhyayam, and 3 valleys. The first valley is the story, the context. Remember the story, where does it start from? Start from a great Brahmana by the name of Vajashravas. Vajashvaraha was doing a yajna called Vishwajit Yajna. See, don't think this Upanishad only give you Atma Jnanam, not about living in this world, how to live in this world. It gives you that as well. That's what we're going to see. Vajashrava was doing a Vishwajit Yajnam. Vishwajit means conquering the world. What was the Yajnam for? Do you remember? Is it for the Putra Prapti? Pashuparam Dhanyam? Ayush? Property? No. Or Mukti? No. This Yajna was done to acquire residence in Swargaloka. Very important. He was not asking for liberation or freedom. He wants to go to Swargam. And then he was doing a karma. So what we learn from this is that Vedas give you Vaidika karmas to transcend to heaven. Don't ask me, have you been there? I don't know. Nobody can tell you. But you got to have a Shraddha. The Shraddha if you have, there are Vaidika karmas you do by which you will get placement in the heaven. And to do the Vaidika karma, of course, you must do your Nitya karma Anushtana. So, all that is there. So, we learn that itself, that there is life beyond this world. And you can buy the ticket to go there. But the problem is, when you go there, you go with your Chitapasam, but shedding all your body here. So you may not be the same person there with the same memory. You'll be a new person. But there is a possibility that you can procure the ticket here. So that he was doing that. He was called Vajashvara, is his family name, because Vajapayam. Vaja is Annam, Annadanam. His family has been Uttalaka Aruni. All those people have been giving Annadanam to everybody else. So he's a very popular person, Gautama. Okay, and we saw that. Then what happened there? He gives away everything else. So to go to Swarga, to attain a better new world, you need to give up ownership of things you have here. It's very important, a lesson we learn. If you write the will and keep the will under the pillow, still not happy about the investment, and then you can say Narayana so many times, but when we die, that which is driving you in the back of the mind, your itcha about the will, money, property, investment, will not take you to the world that you deserve to go, but you'll come back to this world. Anything that you love, attached too much to this world, will drag you down this world. So you have to disown them. This is why Tyagam comes in. Vishwajit Tyagam, in which he gives away everything as a dhanam. Willingly. That means you have no grudges. Oh my God, I can't live anymore. What happened to my real estate, my holiday home? Oh my God, I didn't write the bill. No. Do everything, sort it out, let it all go. You become free. So here it comes in, dhanam tapas is important in our life. Then we learned about he giving away even the old cattle, which cannot milk. Nachiketas thought about it, and that's the reason why he intervened. Dad, why are you giving away the old cow? Give me away. I'm useful to somebody else. And he says, go to hell, go to death. Right? That's a story. But we also saw the normal meaning maybe look like, this man is crafty, he's giving away useless things. No, you cannot say that. We had two inferences. If he's still maintaining a very old, useless cow at his home, that means he's a great person because he milked the cow for all its life. When it has got an old age, he still maintains the cow. So that means we have to learn from that in our life. We use other people, other people's health, other people's wealth. But when they become impotent to give you the help anymore, incapable of supporting you, it could be your parents, uncles, relatives, friends, you still have to take care of them. So we learn the lesson. Then Nachiketas, look at Nachiketas' point of view. He jumped in. My daddy wants to go somewhere. I want to make him go to the heaven. But he is giving an improper gift to others. So let me offer myself. So we learn from that. Your job, your duty, your obligation is to sacrifice your possessions, your life for the good of others, especially the parents. Willingly offer that. So that happened there. Then you know the rest of the story, right? The father regretted why he made this curse. The son insisted his father's word should come true. You see, that's why the satyatvam. Father said to this to happen, this must happen. I must die. So he goes there, he goes to the Yama's place, right? What is the first boon he asked? What did Yama do? Yamadharmaraja was busy. He's an unscheduled visitor. Atithi. Tithi means dated, scheduled. Atithi. Atithi means who arrives at your house uninformed. These days it's very difficult, right? If you come home and say, oh, did you call me? Did you message me? Oh, you should do that. So we put a condition on visitors to come to our house. It is not our dharma. Come anytime, unspecified. Because when you come in there, we see you as a Aditi Devo Bhava. Yamadharmaraja saw young Nachiketas as an Aditi, and he made him wait for 3 nights. So he offered him 3 boons. Why? See this? Why, when you make a mistake, you want to give something to pacify it? Because you want the hurt to be changed to a blessing. Whatever makes other person feel good. That's the reason why the lessons we learn is that by voluntarily or involuntarily, if you hurt somebody, find a way. Don't keep saying regretting that. No point saying sorry 200 times, but find a way to help compensate. Hitam vada, hitam chara, hitam kata. So you must do good things. So we take the lesson from that. And what is the first boon he asked? He asked the first boon. See how clever he is. He said, let my father be happy. Because I did all this to make my father happy. But that poor man is unhappy because his word of curse has put him in a guilt position. So he says to Yamadhan Raja, make my father happy and angerless. But then, to help, as if he is helping Yamadhan Raja, to make my father happy, you must make me go back. Well, and I go back as a ghost, from Yamadhan, in the Lord of Death, if you go there, you go as a ghost. No. I go back as I was before. So what we learn from this, communication is a key. Choose your words rightly. Think through it. You have to achieve the objective that you want to from this. One question, he put everything else. I must go back the same way I was. My father should see me, and he must be happy, angerless, solved, granted. So in all our efforts, in all our pursuits, our first prayer to God or the supreme power that bestows grace to us is to fulfill our duties in this world. Fulfill our obligation to make our elders happy, our relatives happy, our friends happy, our society happy. Because when you make everybody happy, you as a part of it become a happy manifestation itself. Then he said, okay, ask me the second book. Then he thought, okay, my father asking for heaven. There are so many fathers. All those fathers, after finished their great samsaric life, working for the family, when they retire, we discard them. No, they need to find a way. So they are looking for heavenly life. My father is a Vedic person. He knows the rituals. What about others? Why can't I be a son of every father in this world? You see, this is where Nachiketa's personality comes out. He says, Yamadharma Raja, my second boon that I need is, what is that one has to do? The Vaidika karma that you're mentioning, my father was trying to do to attain this Swarga. Teach me that. See, he's not asking that so that he can do and go to heaven. Why? He's a smart boy. He can simply say, take me to heaven. Job done. But he's asking for the prakriyas, the mean to attain heavenly life. That means he wants to impart that to everybody else in this world. Paropakaram. So paropakaram is parabhakti. So, Madhava Raja, what did he do? He imparted the Agni Vidya. Here, Agni is figuratively the fire, that in Lakshyartham is the Jnana. So when you do the Agni Vidya with a number of bricks and mortars and all that, see, the Vaidya Karma, don't question this, because what is the point of pouring milk into the fire or doing something? I can at least feed somebody else. You say that. Of course, you feed somebody else, important. But this one, don't underestimate the value of it, because We are worshipping the subtle elements. The subtle elements consume other subtle elements. Fire consumes water. Water consumes the earth. Like this, they consume the molecular level, atomic level. So when you pour things, you are actually giving ahuti, you are giving oblation to the subtle forces. Subtle forces, therefore, elevate you to the other world. So that's the principle behind it. So what did Nachiketa do? Nachiketa rephrased everything verbatim. Pariksha. See, when you are learning for yourself, that's one thing. When you're learning and you take a sankalpam to teach others, then your responsibility is more. If somebody is listening to you in good faith, you have to be truthful. And what you do not know, you must say, I do not know. What you know, you say, I know this way because of this person, this knowledge. So the teacher who trains a teacher will examine that what have you learned. What Nachiketas did was repeated the whole Agni Vidya, which is not part of the Upanishad, because you just gloss over it. And then the teacher was so happy and said, look, hereinafter, this Agni is called what? Nachiketa Agni. So Nachiketas means in Sanskrit, Nachiketas. Okay? Even today, when you go and do Yajnam and you see the Vedic Pandits do that, they will say Nachiketa Agni. That means this is what they are doing. Then what happened? He said, okay, go for the third boon. Now he said, okay, I satisfied my father's duty. I have given what the society needs from me, the means to attain Swarga. Now who am I? I need to know about myself. Should I know it now? Or should I know it after my death? And what is his death? And who else can explain this other than Lord of Death? I got a fantastic teacher, Yamadharma Raja. So he tells him, therefore, the third boon, what happens to people who die? Do they exist or not exist? What happened to Yamadharma Raja on this question? You remember? In the first two boons, he said, just like that, give it away, padafet. This one, he was frightened. He said, look, Nachiketas, stop. This is not something I can tell you. Ask something else. I'll give you this money. I'll give you this wealth. I'll give you all these ladies here. Take them. Take the chariot. Go. You know, along the Nachiketa Agni, he gave a Chintamani, a precious child. So here he was feeding him with the sukham of life. Like Swargam. Swargam is a sukham. If all of us do the good karmas and we go to Swargam, we'll meet in a different loga. Still, Mani Mama will be better than me, and I'll be cribbing, oh, you are in a better position than me. So Swargam has made no difference to me. I still have my avarice, greed, jealous, maybe sitting in a comfortable sofa. So there is no differences that is going away. But he offered everything. As many years you want to live, go and live. But what did Nachiketa say? It was bit to the point of rudeness, isn't it? He said, Lord, keep all this yourself. Keep all your girls, all your chariots, all your wealth, property, keep it yourself. Who wants it? Whatever life you give is still short because you will take me away. And you tell me that this is something which even devas cannot understand. If you're telling me this, who else is a better teacher? Even if devas cannot understand it, then therefore they are not asking for it, and you are able to teach it, how can you miss it? So you see, when you're purposeful in life, in any pursuit, in job, in personal life, when you decide that, in Tamil there is a word, right? Ennit thuniga karmam. Think about all these options and then you decide. Once you decide, you are like a leech. You have to find a way. So he says, look, that's your problem. You are a teacher, able teacher, teach me. I want that. So this is how the first chapter is finished. Then we went to the second chapter. So what did Yamadharma start the second chapter with? First chapter we had how many verses, mantras? 29. The second chapter we had 25 mantras. And how does he start? He starts where he left. He left, where did he left in the first chapter? After throwing all these prosperities to this boy, he discards them all. So that only shows that he understands what is the goal to be taken in a human life. That's a lesson we learn. And he elaborates. What are the two ways of life? If you remember, say it in your mind. One is prayers, pleasing, pleasant things. Shreyas, good things. Pleasant things, good things. What gives you pleasure? What gives you good? Oh, does it mean goodness is not pleasant? It could be. It could be also unpleasant sometimes. But nobody chooses unpleasant things. So the prayers is pravritti margam, things that gives you pleasurable enjoyment to your senses, eventually put you in grief. Shreyas doesn't matter whether it's a pleasurable or non-pleasurable, it is always good. Hitam, satyam, mangalam, auspicious. Is there a way that I can be a combination of 30% of prayers, 70% Shreyas, or 90-10? Can you do that? For example, I go to temple, I am in the Shreyas mode. I go to the restaurant to have a drink, a beer and a sandwich, prayers mode. No. They are mutually exclusive. They cannot be the same. You have to be in prayers or you have to be in Shreyas. Or can I just not be in prayers and be a good person? Of course you can be. You are a good samsari. Please don't think you must get out of samsara. You don't need to if you don't want to. The mumukshutvam is not there. Vedantam is not for you. You can lead a beautiful life, enjoy, do punyam, next janma, next janma, next janma. Someday, God willing, you'll say, enough is enough. The moment you come to enough is enough, you have to be in Shreyas mode. That means I give up everything? No. Nothing for you to give up because you own nothing. So you can give up something when you own something. Shreyas gives you a bhavam that you are not vishayas, you are not upatis. What can you give up? So all this notion of tyagam, sacrifice, dhanam, if you say, I do dhanam, what dhanam? What property you gave dhanam? Whose is that? We can't make a single grain, right? So even the ahambhavam is gone. Nothing is yours. But I still engage in the life. I'm still the same person going to office, do everything, but I am unattached because I'm holding on to my true nature, who is the observer of things, the power of seeing things, but not seen. It means I am in self-centric mode, I am in the Adhyatma Vidya. That is Shreyas. It is diametrically opposite to prayers. There's no combination. Don't mistake it. Sometimes, he goes to Kovil, he does the puja, Shreyas. Maybe he is Shreyas. But that is not Shreyas life. Shreyas life is where you don't identify with the Vishayas and Upapis and the Lokas, but as a Drik. But still perform. You don't need to renunciate life. Now, Madhara Raja talks about what is Shreyas, what is Shreyas. Not that Nachiketas doesn't know it. As a teacher, he's so happy, Sometimes you want to find somebody to whom you want to give this job, right? And you interview a lot of people, you found a guy, then you come to your room, my God, I got this guy, fantastic. He fits the thing. Oh, he can do this, he can do this. You talk to yourself, convinced that he's the right guy, and give an appointment order. Another project does the same thing. I got this Nachiketas, I tested him. Oh my God, he's a Shreyas guy. Oh, he believes in Guru Vakyam. So in the second chapter, he starts with the prayers, Shreyas, the value of prayers, Guru Sishya relationship, and then say, hey, Nachiketas, you are fit to be the recipient of it. But what does Nachiketas do? He's not there to just to get all this flattery. Come on, he's don't pull up. No, keep wasting my time. Come to the point. Because that is what you need. You need to have, like your head is burning with fire. When my head is burning with fire, do I need a data scientist to say, how did my get caught to fire? What is the source of the fire? What are the methods of prevention? No, I need some water to dip my head into it. Solution I need. In everything in life, when you want to achieve something, you must have that sense of urgency in your motion. Not being passionate about it. This passion should be there. But the intensity of purpose, that's what I mean. The right word I would say for Vairagam is that intensity of purpose. People normally say Vairagam is dispassion. Fine. But I prefer to call it intensity of purpose. Anything that is not contributing to purpose, I don't need. Yeah, Madhara Raja, I understand prayers, okay, I'm maybe a good guy. All that is leaving aside. Give me that. Now he changed this question. He refined the question. Give me that which transcend dharma and adharma. Dharma, dharma, vivarjita. Amba says. Because if you're telling me prayers, heavens, hell, all that are related to paba, punya, sugha, dukkha, dharma, adharma. I don't want that. So tell me that which is transcending all this. That's what I need. What is the lesson we take from this? When you have a conversation, when you're learning, don't hold on to your dictum, your question, your stance as if it's sacrosanct. Because the conversation as it develops, the orientation changes, the problem changes, and you are able to refine your stance, refine your question. Sometimes many in the political parties, you see, this is my policy, I will not change it. Some of the dogmatic religions are like that. They don't change. Sanathanam means eternally fresh. You can be eternally fresh only when you change. Change what needs to be changed. Because if you know you are changing it, you always have a change to a reference. The change doesn't exist by itself. How can you say I'm changed? Raja, you changed. How do you know? Well, you look younger yesterday. So you have a reference. So the external reference is that the truth. So you change. So Nachiketas has changed his stance. Now he's asking a more refined question. I'll make it easy, teacher. Don't talk about dharma and adharma. I know all that. I want to know about that which transcends dharma and adharma. So it opens up another view for us. So we have to be dharmic in life. So you do social good, ethical goods, legal good things, moral good things. Then when you are religious, you do religious good things. And when you are Vedic, you do the Vedika karma. All the thing you do. And then at some point you'll say, all this is not going to give me moksham. Remember, Vajasvara was not asking for moksham, a better life, better life. So when you realize, I need to have that, that means I need to transcend the dharma, adharma. The dharma and adharma are defined. See, if God defines what is good, what is bad, then God is bad, isn't it? You know what I'm saying? How can he define something is bad, something is good? God doesn't define something good, something bad. God doesn't define what is papa, what is punya. Dharmam defines it. Dharmam defines it because dharmam is ritam vatishyami. It has an order has to be maintained. For the ritam, there is a boundary. The boundary is what dharma defines. But if it is bounded, God cannot be within the bounds. So when you talk about God, the Parabrahman, there is nothing good or bad. That's why when Hiranyakashipu had a pleasure of having Lord coming and keeping him on his lap and eating him, not killing and throwing it away. He consumes him. That means he enjoyed Hiranyakashipu. Prahlad didn't get that. Prahlad has got a kingdom in somewhere in the distant place. Patala Loka kingdom, go and live there happily. Why is that? The intensity of devotion or the thinking of the God was much more in Hiranyakashipu. But Dushana, not the prema, does not matter. Point is, God does not see you where you are scolding him or praising him. So never ever say, therefore say, the Nastika is always blames the God. He never prays to God, never praises the God. So therefore he'll go to hell. No. He thinks of God more than you and I think of it. Because every day he stands about there is no God, there's no God, there's no God. That's why sometimes, I remember reading somewhere when Kanchi Mahaparivar, somebody came and put a garland on him. On the next one, golden crown, so many things. He was just keeping quiet, putting everything. So somebody's mind was thinking about it, I believe. See, why is he accepting all this? And then the discourse he says, as if to answer him, if he says, don't put it, he's got opinion. I am this person, don't put it. Or put it as an opinion. Doesn't care. You put it, fine. You don't put it, that's fine. You price me, fine. You don't price me, fine. Because I don't live in me, because I am not the me that you see. See? That's where Nachiketa was driving. So, dharma, adharma, atitam. Give me that. Then, Amadharmarajan thought, okay, this boy is quite difficult one. What he's asking is supreme knowledge for which his buddhi may not be able to hold on to it. So I must teach him the means to achieve that superior intellectual capacity. This you must understand. See, our mind is wired optically, neurological setup is some sort of a object orientation is there. Every microns, every neurons, they connect. The permutation creates a pattern. Pattern relates to a biochemical energy, to a memory. Okay, I won't go deep into this. It needs a gross thing to do. When you become more subtle and subtle and subtle, the connection will be more subtle. So your brain has to be developed. There's nothing wrong in saying that my intellectual capacity is not good enough. I need to polish it. Perfectly fine. People make a mistake, you know. If someone calls you, oh, I'm a bit of a stupid person on the topic, because you are not born with intelligence in you. You're born with an instrument of intelligence, and you have the capacity to polish it. So I do not know Vedantam. I don't understand it. Then you say, polish it. I won't tell you something. Come with the sharpest brain. What do I do? Well, brain is basically a biochemistry. Refrain from eating bad things. Be sattvic. Do meditate. Do exercise. Do pranayam. So all that you do. You see, now you can understand where Patanjali Yogam sits, where all this prakriyas sits. You have to do all those things because you have to prepare yourself for it. Now, Mother Raja telling Nachiketas, he may be all well a boy, young boy. He tells him, take up Omkara Upasana. Now you see, the Upanishad give you Upasana mark. It is not the Vajapeyi Yagyam, Vajashvadit Yagyam, Nachiketas Agni. No, it is Upasana, Omkara Upasana. It's not a Rama Upasana, Krishna Upasana, Shiva Upasana, the Omkara Upasana. It means you transcend namas, transcend the rupas. If the nama rupa is transcended, there is no form, there is no bounded worship. You work on the Omkara. So you should go and take Omkara Upasana teaching so that meditate. The mind becomes pure, subtle, and sharp. Then the third chapter came in. He said, yeah, fine, I will take up. Probably Nachiketas took the Omkara Upasana. This is not coming in wasting. Then third chapter came in. He said, come on, I'm ready. Now he starts into a deeper science. How did the third chapter start? Do you remember? Second chapter started with two things, prayers and shreyas. Third chapter started with two things. He said, in the Jiva and Ishvara, entering into a body as shadow and light. He comes straight into the Adhyatma Vidya. The world is gone. Everything is gone. Now you say, you, in your embodiment, there are two things entered, the light and the shadow. You are the shadow. The shadow because you have an ahankara, an emotional identity. Then you remember that. Then he said, you have to take a journey. The journey is, where should the journey be? Towards the light. Because light is the Brahman, it's a true nature. Shadow is my creation. Shadow merges in the light when the object goes towards the light. But what do I do? With the chariot of my embodiments, do you remember what is the horse that is driving the chariot? 5 senses. Who is the charioteer? The buddhi. What is the reins that controls the horses? The mind. So if the buddhi has to ride the horses in the right direction in the street of Vishayas, the reins, the mind, have to be in tune with the buddhi's intensity of pull and push. So Bhagavan used the word in Gita as well as here, Yamdharma used, called yuktam. So we must learn that phrase yuktam. In our journey of life, forget the Adhyaya Vidya, my pursuit in life, in my job, in my domestic life, if I need to go well, achieve what I want to achieve, I must ride this chariot of mine. How? In the object, the Vishaya street, I must only focus on what I want to do. I want to learn about artificial intelligence. I want to make a career change. So take up that course, go that way. Don't distract your mind. Like that you have purpose. But if your intellect says, I do it, but the mind says, let's play this snooker game for a while. That means the mind is not complying with the buddhi. Ayuktam. They're not combining together. So you must bring the mind listening to the buddhi. How do I do that? You do 2 things. You do intellectually read what is right, what is wrong. Buddhi understands it. You do upasanas, meditation, and all that, so that the mind becomes malleable. Then combine them together, yukti comes in. So you like to. But here the journey is not going outside, not learning new things outside, but yearning towards the light. So he said that. But it's quite easy for me to transcend objects, This life of banker, retirement, finish. I can do all that. But how can I transcend my internal self? Then he brought in Panchakosha Kriya. Transcend your body, transcend your mind. And he said, put your indriyas in the mind in the buddhi, buddhi in the cosmic consciousness, and that in the avyakta, all that we saw. And also I told you how practically to use it. So when I say buddhi in the cosmic buddhi, where is the cosmic buddhi? That means buddhi that you have in your mind, the buddhi I see in Balaji's mind, but also same thing. So if I say something and Ramesh says something, and I say, no, what I say is correct. That means I don't have the capacity to take my buddhi and put in cosmic buddhi. Now I say, oh, buddhi in me is also a buddhi of cosmology, cosmic Purusha. Ramesh is saying this way, maybe that may be a good point, maybe listen to that one. So you see a detachment comes in, cohesiveness comes in, so you're able to listen to people. So your domestic life also improves. Of course, in a higher form of nature, you attain samadhi in all the times. So we gone through that kind of a Panchakriya. Then he talks about the Atma itself. And then when you say, oh, this is so subtle, then he said, Uttishtava, Jagrava. He kicked you. Hey, come on. Don't worry. Don't be frightened about it. Get up. Arise, awake. Go on. If you get confused about it, go to the teacher. Go to the teacher and learn from him. Serve the teacher. See, most important point is here. See, if you ask me a question, hey, I learned this Kathopanishad, I learned it from so many teachers, so many books. Very interesting. And it looks like Nachiketas attained the Brahmahood after listening to Dharmaraja doing what need to be done. I don't know what to do. There's nothing specifically coming out of it. Do you feel that? Oh, you can do Nachiketa, need to get a Swarga and all that. But to get the Atma Jnanam, get the Atma Anubhuti, what is it? What is it means I need to do? What exercise you do? How do I become a Brahma? It's not there, right? Because you cannot become a Brahman. You cannot become an Atma. Because you are already an Atma. Already a Brahman. So there is nothing you can attain. But you only have to realize it. That's the reason why this Adhyatma Vidya cannot be read by books. No matter how good you are in Sanskrit, how well you are intellectually superior, how well you can dissect and write an essay on it, you will not get the Anubhuti because this has to be shown by a guru. So what about all this bhashyas and text? The bhashyas and text are only to direct you and say, look, like, I give an example of a child who wants to see the full moon. The mother says, want to see the full moon? Yeah, mommy, I want to see. You see the garden there, the olive tree? Yeah, the big tree. Keep looking at the tree. Just go up there. See the branch there. Oh, the left or right? Oh, the right one. Yeah, just keep looking up there. You see the fork? Yes, mommy. A lot of leaves there. Yeah, between the fork, if you look at it behind the leaf, what do you see? I see the moon. You got it. Why the moon to be seen? It is there to be seen, so you see it. So you are there to be known. You know it. There's no purpose. What's the purpose of seeing a moon? It is there to be seen. You exist. You ought to be known to you. But you need that mother's touch of directing you here, 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 here. So all these olive tree branches, all these are complete, what do you call it, a tricky way to take you towards the goal. So that's why, but don't get me wrong, you still have to get a padartham. You must know what is the meaning of it, why you say what you say. That's the reason why I asked the question. Go back, read through, raise questions, ask more questions. All these questions are like, which branch, which leaf? You don't stick with this, The tree has no meaning. The olive tree has nothing to do with the moon. But that is the way to take it. So that's what he did. And then he finished the third chapter, third section with that. Now you have the next Valli, next Adhyayam. It's smaller. Some scholars say that this had been added later. I don't know. But it's very interesting. It is giving you a lot more means to attain this kind of a thinking. 15 plus 15 plus 18, 48 mantras are there. Very simple. So, God willing, and if there is an opportunity, we will go through them. Maybe 2-3 months we get finish it. But what I recommend you is that from this break, after enjoying the Christmas festivity, once in a while, go back, listen to the videos or any videos, any great Acharya's videos on the first chapter alone. Formulate questions, think about it, and that will really heal you. Okay, I'll stop it here. Om Sakana Bhavatu.
Om Sahanavatu.
Sahanau Bunattu.
Sahanau
Prabhavate.
Bunattu.
सह वीर्यं करवावहै
तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु
तेजस्विनावदीतमस्तु
मा विद्विषावहै
मा
मा विद्विषावहै
ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः
ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः
ॐ पूर्णमद पूर्णमिदं
ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं
पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते
पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते
पूर्णमादाय
पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय
पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते
पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते
शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः
ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः
हरि ओम तत्सत्
हरिः ओम् तत्सत्
महाप्रणमस्तु
Thank you.
थैंक यू सो मच
Thank you, sir.